Dear cadets, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome you all at my online class. I hope all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. This is Maqsudur Rahman, lecturer in chemistry, Borishal Cadet College, Borishal. It is very necessary to keep yourself inside home along with your family members for avoiding the running pandemic COVID-19. And I hope we'll be very soon can get right off from this pandemic situation. And once again, we will meet together and our life will become again a smooth one. And considering this situation, Borishal Cadet College is providing necessary academic guidelines and short lecture on specific link periodically. With this continuation, I am here for your online class. By seeing this picture, what you can gaze? Yes, today I am going to discuss on chapter 6, the structure of atoms. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to analyze the different types of questions. Totally, today my lecture is based on question solving, and I try to solve different types of question. By solving this problem, you can understand or you can solve different types of questions. So this is very important class for you. Okay, you can see a question. This is a CQ type question. You know that in our exam we have CQ type question and MCQ type question. And in CQ type question, there is a stream. This is known as stream. Here you can see, I set a stream. All materials are formed by tiny particles. About the tiny particles, different scientists and philosophers have expressed different opinions. Experiments made by scientists of different times have established several models describing the structure of atoms. Among them, one is solar system atomic model. This is STEM. This is called STEM of a CQ type question. On the base of this CQ type, on the base of this STEM, there are 4 questions: A, B, C, and D. First question is basically it is knowledge based question. I repeat it. This is knowledge based question. This is knowledge based question. It is knowledge based question. And second one, why an atom is electrically neutral? This is comprehension type question. This is comprehension type question. And this one is C. Write down the main features of above atomic model. This is application type question. This is application type question. And last one, why above model did not get acceptance? Explain briefly. This is basically higher order question. I think it is clear to you. So on the base of a STEM, there are 4 types of question. One is knowledge based question. This is knowledge based question. One is set for knowledge base. Another one is comprehension type question. Number C, it is on application type question. And number D, higher order or analysis based question. So now I am going to discuss how we can solve these questions. Okay. First question, who first said that atoms cannot be divided further? You can easily say that. You already know. From my lecture, I said it. The Greek philosopher Democritus put forward an idea that all matters are formed by tiny particles. According to him, these particles are indivisible. Indivisible means that they cannot be divided further. And he said this is atom. So what is the answer? What is the answer of this first question? Who first said that atom cannot be divided further? Yes, this is Greek philosopher Democritus. So you write, Greek philosopher Democritus first said that atoms cannot be divided further. I think it is clear to you. Okay, second question, why an atom is electrically neutral? You know that atoms are electrically neutral because in atoms, in the center of the atoms, if it is hydrogen, there is one proton in the nucleus and one electron in the outermost shell. So the total number of proton in the nucleus is equal to total number of electron, and we know that protons are positively charged particles, and electrons are negatively charged particles. So one positive charge neutral the one negative charge, or you can say that one negative charge electron is cancelled by one positive charge proton. That's why an atom is electrically neutral. So what is your answer? Your answer is atoms are electrically neutral because we know that nucleus is surrounded by a number of negative charge electrons, and that is equal to the number of positive charge proton of the nucleus. So positive charge is cancelled by the negative charge of electron. That's why atoms are electrically neutral. I think it is clear to you why an atoms are electrically neutral. Now, question number 3. Write down the main features of above atomic model. Here you can see that above atomic model. From this, you should find out which atomic model is indicated by this stem. So above atomic model indicate solar system atomic model. This solar system atomic model is given by, we know that this is given by Rutherford atomic. It is given by Rutherford. So Rutherford atomic model. So from this question, you have to find out which model is try to find out. Write down the main features of above atomic model means solar system atomic model, and solar system atomic model is given by Rutherford atomic model. Rutherford's. So you have to write down the main features of Rutherford atomic model. So you need to write down the main features of Rutherford atomic model. What are these? First one is there are three postulates. There are three main postulates or three main features. One is in the center of the atom there is positively charged massive substance. This massive substance is called the center of the nucleus of the atom, and compared to the whole volume of the atom, the volume of nucleus is negligible, and it possesses almost the whole mass of and all positive charges. So this is first postulate. Number two, atoms are electrically neutral. So nucleus is surrounded by number of negative charge electron, and that is equal to the number of positive charge proton of the nucleus, and this is second postulate. And third postulates or third main features is electrons always move round the nucleus as the planet revolve around the sun in the solar system. You know that electrons in the, if this is atom, if this is an atom and this is the center, if this is the center, and electrons will move around the nucleus, So electrons always move around the nucleus as the planets revolve around the sun. We know that planets are revolve around the sun in the solar system. And the centripetal force due to the electrostatic force between the positive charge nucleus and negative electrons is equal to the centrifugal force of the moving electron. That's why and electrons are situated at the shell. So this is the third main features of Rutherford's atomic model. So from question, here I said a question, write down the main features of above atomic model. Above atomic model means solar system atomic model, and you have to find out who give this solar system atomic model. Yes, you know that this is given by Rutherford. So you have to write Rutherford's main features. So there are three main features. One is in the center of the atom, it describes about center of the atom, and second one is atoms are electrically neutral, and third one is electrons always move around the nucleus at the planet revolve around the sun in the solar system. So these are the three main features of Rutherford's atomic model. So if you can write these three model, this is the answer of this. Write down the main features of above atomic model. I think it is clear to you. Okay, now I am discuss on question number D. Why above model did not get acceptance? You already know that above model means Rutherford atomic model. So you have to write down here why Rutherford's atomic model did not get acceptance. So you should write down its limitation. So you have to write its limitation. Limitations of Rutherford atomic model. So you need to write limitation of Rutherford's atomic model. First limitation was planets in the solar system are electrically neutral. You already know that planets in the solar system are electrically neutral, but electrons are positively charged. Electrons are positively charged and protons are also positively charged. That's why these are not similar with the solar system. Because in solar system planets are electrically neutral, but electrons and protons are charged particles. So this is an anomaly. Second one is, according to Maxwell electromagnetic theory of radiation, any charged particle, I repeat it again, according to Maxwell, this theory is very important. According to Maxwell electromagnetic theory of radiation, any charged particle, if moves in a circular way, always emit radiation. It always emit radiation, and its radius of movement will become smaller gradually and ultimately reach the center. So if it reaches the center, the electrons gradually emit energy and ultimately reach the nucleus. If it reaches the nucleus, thus according to the Rutherford atomic model, atoms will get an unstable state. So if it reaches to the nucleus, it get an unstable state. But atoms do not emit energy, or electrons never enter into the nucleus. So this is the limitation of Rutherford's atomic model. Here you can see that when electrons move around the nucleus in a circular way, according to Maxwell electromagnetic theory, electrons lose radiation or energy. As it lost energy, it ultimately reaches to the center. In this figure, you can see it ultimately reaches to the center. When it reaches to the center, it get an unstable state. But atoms does not get an unstable state. This is the limitation of Rutherford's atomic model. I think it is clear to you. So when this question comes, why above model did not get an acceptance, that means why Rutherford's atomic model did not get an acceptance. So you should write the limitations of Rutherford atomic model, and these are the limitations of atomic model, and you must show this picture. You can draw this picture like this. You can draw this picture like this. This is plus. So electrons, this electron. You can draw this picture like this. So second question, I said a second MCQ type question, CQ type question. Elements A, B, C, D and E having atomic number 1. That means atomic number of A is 1, atomic number of B is 6, atomic number C 11, atomic number of D is 15, and atomic number of E is 17. And mass number are 1, 12, 23, 31 and 35 respectively. So I give atomic number and mass number. So this is the stem. On the basis of this stem, there are 4 questions. You already know that this is knowledge based question, this is comprehension type question, this is application type question, and this is higher order question. So first one, what is atomic number? What is atomic number? You already know that in the atom, if it is carbon, there are 6 proton. There are 6 proton in the center and 6 electron in the outermost shell. So the total number of proton, this total number of proton is known as atomic number. So I think it is clear to you. Atomic number means the total number of proton. Total number of proton is called atomic number. Number 2, valency of oxygen is 2. Explain it. So in this case, you have to know what is valency. I think it is known by you. What is valency? Valency is the capacity of an atom to combine with hydrogen atom. The capacity of an atom to combine with hydrogen atom. You already know that. Example, for example, H2O. This is called water. So here you can see that with one oxygen atom, two hydrogen atom add with this. So with one oxygen, there are two hydrogen atom attached with one oxygen atom. So the capacity of oxygen is 2. That's why its valence is 2. So you have to write first. You write down the statement of valency. What is valency? The capacity of an atom to combine with hydrogen atom. This is the definition of valency. So then you have to describe the valency of oxygen is 2. So you set an example. I set an example here, water. So here in water, its structure is H2O. So with one oxygen atom, there are two hydrogen atoms. So combining capacity of oxygen is 2. That's why its valency is 2. I think it is clear to you. Okay. Question C. Write down the isotopes of A, B, and E. So what is A? At first, you have to find out what is A. Here you can see that A, its atomic number is 1. So it is hydrogen. Then B, its atomic number is 6. So it is carbon. And E, here is given atomic number is 17. So you know that atomic number of 17 means it is chlorine. So you have to find out first what is A, B, and C element said. A means hydrogen, B means carbon, and E means chlorine. So when you can find out the atoms, then you can write down the isotopes. So I think it is you can find out the isotopes of hydrogen, carbon, and chlorine. Here you can see there are 3 isotopes of hydrogen. First one is hydrogen. So there you can see that there are 3 isotopes. One is hydrogen, deuterium, and another one is tritium. Hydrogen is written by 1,1 hydrogen, deuterium is written by 2,1 hydrogen, and tritium is written by 3,1 hydrogen. So what is isotopes? Isotopes having same number of proton. Here you can see in case of hydrogen, its proton number is 1. In case of deuterium, its proton number is 1. In case of tritium, its proton number is also 1. So isotopes having same proton number but different mass number. So this is the isotopes of hydrogen. So now the isotopes carbon. There are 3 isotopes of carbon: carbon 12, carbon 13, and carbon 14. So there are also 3 isotopes of carbon. And last one is E. E is chlorine. So here you can see that there are 2 types of isotopes of chlorine. One is 3517 chlorine and another one is 3717 chlorine. There are 2 isotopes of chlorine. So I think it is clear to you. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes, carbon has 3 isotopes, carbon 12, carbon 13, and carbon 14, and chlorine has 2 isotopes, 35 chlorine and 37 chlorine. So this is the answer of C question. Now, question number D. Calculate the electron, proton, and neutron number of above elements. So you have to find out the above elements first. So you already know that A is A equal to, as it is atomic number is 1. So this is hydrogen. And you already know that atomic number and there are mass number. So proton number equal to, as its atomic number is 1, atomic number is number of proton number. So its proton number is 1. So what is its electron number? So electron number equal to total number of proton is equal to total number of electrons. So electron number is also 1. And its neutron number. Neutron number is, you should, how we can find out the neutron number? Mass number minus atomic number or proton number. Mass number minus atomic number is called neutron number. It's called neutron number. So neutron number you can find 1 minus 1 equal to 0. So for A, this is hydrogen. So as it is atomic number is 1, so its proton number is 1, electron number is 1, neutron number 1 minus 1 equal to 0. So in case of B, so B its atomic number is 6. So this is carbon. So what is its proton number? Its proton number is 1 because its proton number is 6 because there are atomic number is 6. So its proton number is 6. So its proton number is 6. So electron number, what is its electron number? You already know that total number of proton is equal to the total number of electrons. So its electron number is also 6. And what is neutron number? When you can deduct 12 minus 6 equal to 6. As this 12 is its mass number. So from mass number, if I deduct its proton number, we can find out the neutron number. Now, what is C? You already know that C, its atomic number is 11, so it is sodium. So its proton is 11, electron. You already know that total number of proton is equal to the total number of electrons. So its electron number is 11, and neutron number, its mass number is 23. So neutron number equal to 23 minus 11 equal to 12. And D, you know that D, it is phosphorus. Its atomic number is 15, so it is phosphorus. So its proton number is 15. Electron number, it is also 15. And in case of neutron number, it is 31 minus 15 equal to 16. So its neutron number is 16. In case of E, you know that in case of E, the electron atomic number is 17. So this is chlorine. So its proton number equal to 17, electron number equal to also 17, and neutron number equal to its mass number. Its mass number is 35. So you write 35 minus 17 equal to 18. So in this way, you can find out the electron, proton, and neutron number of above elements. Proton number that is called atomic number. Atomic number is known as proton number. And electron number, the total number of proton is equal to the total number of electron. And how you can find out the neutron number? When you deduct atomic number from mass number, then you can find out neutron number. I think you can understand. And now you can solve this type of questions. Okay. Third question. Look at the following table and answer the questions. Here I give two elements A and B. Atomic number is 12 and 17. A and B are not actual symbol of elements. So first question, what is valence electron? This is knowledge based question. This is, you know that. This is knowledge based question. Iron shows variable valency. This is comprehension type question. Explain the ion formation of A element. This is application type question. And analyze the nature of bond formation of between A and B. This is higher order type question. So how we can solve these questions? First one, what is valence electron? You know that if it is sodium, I think I give an example. If it is sodium, at first this is sodium, you write sodium, there are 2 electrons in first energy shell, and in second energy shell there are 8 electrons. So there are 8 electrons. So 2 and 8 equal to 10. So I have another electrons 1. So here you can set another 1 electron. What is valence electron? Valence electron means the number of outermost electron. The number of outermost electron is called valence electron. So in sodium there are only 1 electron. There is only 1 electron in its outermost shell. So its valence electron equal to 1. I think it is clear. Valence electron means the total number of electron in its outermost shell. If it is chlorine, you know that it is 17. So in first shell there are 2 electrons. In second shell there are 8 electrons, and in third shell there are 7 electrons. So 2, 8 and 2, 10 and plus 7 equal to 17. So this chlorine atom has 7 electron in its outermost shell. 7 electron in its outermost shell. As it has 7 electron in its outermost shell, so its valence electron equal to 7. I think it is clear. Valence electron means total number of electrons in its outermost shell. Total number of electrons in its outermost shell. Sodium has 1 electron in its outermost shell, so its valence electron is 1. And in case of chlorine, there are 7 electrons, so its valence electron is 7. So question B, iron shows variable valency. You have to know what is variable valency. What is variable valency? Variable valency means elements having different valency, or elements have different valency, or elements show more than one valency. So what is variable valency? Elements having different valency, that means elements show more than one valency is called variable valency. When an element show more than one valency is called variable valency. Here you can see, I set an example. For example, here iron. Iron means Fe. Its atomic number is 26. So it has one valence is 2 and another valence is 3. So as iron Fe2 plus, and it can show Fe3 plus. So as iron can show 2 valency, in that case its valence is 2, in this case its valence is 3. So it has its compound. If I write its compound, FeSO4 ferrous sulfate and FeSO4P, this is 2. So this is ferric sulfate. This is called ferrous. This is ferrous sulfate, and this is ferric. This is ferric sulfate. This is ferric sulfate. So iron shows 2 valency. One is 2, and another one is 3. 2 shows in ferrous sulfate and 3 shows in ferric sulfate. As iron shows 2 valency, that's why we can find out iron shows variable valency. Variable means the elements that show more than 1 valency. It's called variable valency. As iron shows 2 and 3 valency, that's why iron shows variable valency. So in this way, you can prove this. You can prove, or you can write down the answer of this question. Okay. C. Explain the ion formation of A element. What is ion? At first, you have to know that what is ion. Ion means any charged particle. Any charged particle. Any charged particle is called ion. So, for example, Na plus, this is sodium plus, this is an ion. Cl minus, this is also an ion. So ions are 2 types. One is anion, another one is cation. Anion and cation. Negative charge particle is known as anion, and positive is known as cation. So what is ion? Any charged particle is known as ion. So this is the definition of ion. Now, main question, how you can explain the ion formation of elements. Here you can see A, its atomic number is 12. Its atomic number is 12. So as its atomic number is 12, this is magnesium. So if it is magnesium, so you write down its electronic configuration. In first shell, there are 2 electrons. In second shell, there are 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So totally we have 10 electrons, and we rest. Okay, boys. So I talked about ion formation. Then magnesium, as there are 2 electrons. In magnesium, there are 2 electrons in its first shell and 8 electrons in its second shell, and last 2 electrons in its outermost shell. So it can donate electrons. It can donate 2 electrons. It can donate 2 electrons, because when magnesium lost these 2 electrons, when magnesium lost 2 electrons, we get Mg2 plus. When Mg2 plus, its electronic configuration is, this is 2 electron, and in second shell it has 8 electrons. So it shows an electronic configuration according to neon, and this is an inert gas. You know that this is an inert gas. So every element want to get the electronic configuration of inert gas. So as magnesium, when lost 2 electron, it attain the electronic configuration of neon gas. As it can attain the electronic configuration of neon gas, it can lose 2 electron. So when it lost 2 electron, it form an ion. This is, you know that this is Mg2 plus, this is cation. So by this, in this way, element A forms ion. That means it forms cation. So you have to find out at first what is A. A is magnesium. Then you have to write down the electronic configuration of magnesium, and from this you have to find out how many electrons will be donate or accept for fulfilling the 8 electronic configuration. Atomic number 8 electronic configuration. So for attaining 8 electronic configuration, it has to need donate 2 electrons. So by donating 2 electrons, it attain Mg2 plus. That means it forms cation. Number question D. Analyze the nature of bond formation between A and B. So at first you have to find out what is A. A equal to magnesium, its atomic number is 12. And B, what is B? B equal to, its atomic number is 17, so this is chlorine. So magnesium, at first you have to write magnesium. This is magnesium. This is 2 electron. At first shell there are 2 electrons. In second shell there are 8 electrons, and in third shell there are 2 electrons. So it can donate 2 electrons. When it can donate 2 electrons, it for magnesium 2+. So in first shell there are 2 electrons, and in second shell there are 8 electrons. So there are 8 electrons. So, and it forms 2+. It forms a cation. That means Mg2+. It forms Mg2+. And in case of chlorine, if I write it here, chlorine, so its atomic number is 17. So in first shell there are 2 electrons. In second shell there are 8 electrons, and in third shell there are 7 electrons. So it can accept 1 electron. It can accept 1 electron. That means plus electron. If it can accept 1 electron, so it can attain the electronic configuration of inert gas. This is 2, 8, and 8. As it accepts 1 electron, so it becomes negatively charged. It becomes negatively charged. But you can see here, magnesium donate 2 electrons. Magnesium donate 2 electrons. So, and 1 chlorine can accept 1 electron. So 2 chlorine can accept 2 electron, and it forms 2 Cl minus. So 1 magnesium 2+, we need 2 Cl minus. So what is its compound? The structure of compound Mg, 1 magnesium and 2 chlorine, MgCl2. So its structure is like this, MgCl2. And as it is formed by ion formation, this is cation, and this is anion. This is cation, this is anion. And when cation and anion combine with each other, we get ionic compound. So this is an ionic compound. So to find out, analyze the nature of bond formation between A and B. So bond formation between A and B are ionic compounds. So its nature is ionic in nature. So from this lecture or from this figure, you can find out the answer of this question. I think it is clear to you, and you can write it properly. Okay, boys. Now I am going to discuss on MCQ type question. Here, first question: what is the electron number of DCMa A+ ion? This is an ion. So question is, what is the electron number? So we know that the total number of proton, this is the proton number. This is proton number equal to C, and this is the ion. This is an ion. A+ means electron removed from this substance. So electron number equal to proton number minus A. So its correct answer is A, C minus A. So if it is D, C, Ma, A minus, so what will be the electron number? What will be the electron number? In that case, electron number will be C plus A. I think it is clear to you. If it is plus, you have to deduct. If it is minus, you have to add. Second question: which element having same electronic configuration of Na+? You have to know that Na sodium means 11. It has atomic number is 11. So it has 11 proton number, 11 proton. So in first shell there are 2, in second shell there are 8, and in last shell there are 1 electron. So you have to find out the electronic configuration of helium, neon, argon, and krypton. In that case, helium is 2. So it has no electronic configuration of like this. But in case of neon, it is 10. So when one electron from sodium deduct, we get 10 electron or 10 proton. So this is the example, this is the correct answer of this question. So electronic configuration of sodium plus is equal to the electronic configuration of neon. So this is the correct answer. Okay, now how many electrons are present in K shell of magnesium? So K shell, at first you have to write down the electronic configuration of magnesium. First, in first shell this is 2, in second shell there are 8 electrons, and in third shell there are 2 electrons. So first shell is known as K shell. First shell is known as K shell, second shell KL, L shell, second shell is known as L shell, and third shell is known as KL, N shell. It starts with K shell. This is N shell. So there are 2 electrons. So correct answer is 2. There are 2 electrons in its K shell. Now question 4. If valency of A is 2, if valency of A, it is valency of A is 2 and valency of B is 3, what will be the product? Product is, at first you have to write A and B, and this C you can write it here A, and for in case of B this 2 is writing here. So this is the correct answer. As valency of A is 2, that means we need 2B, and as valency of B is 3, we need 3A. So correct answer is A3, B2. Here is another question. 12,6X, 14,6Y, and 35.517Z. How many isotopes of Z elements are there? Z elements, what is Z? As its atomic number is 17, it is chlorine. So you know that chlorine there are 35, 17 chlorine and 37, 17 chlorine. So there are 2 isotopes of chlorine. So correct answer is A. Okay, X and Y elements are isotopes of each other. Here X and Y. Here you can see that its atomic number is 6. Its atomic number is 6 and its atomic number also 6. So these are isotopes of each other. This is correct. Have same in Newton number. So you have to find out Newton number. Newton number, how we can find out Newton number? 12 minus 6 equal to 6 and 14 minus 6 equal to 8. So Newton number is not same. So this is incorrect. Both are abundant in nature. Both are abundant in nature. First one, carbon 12. Carbon 12 this is about 99% found in nature. But in case of this one, this is one atom present in 1 trillion atom. 1 trillion atom. So this is not abundant in nature. That's why this is also false. So one answer is correct. Isotopes of each other. So correct answer is A. So by this way, you can find out the correct answer. I think this lecture will be beneficial for you. And those who are not understand, I upload this video in your website dcc.edu.bd. You can see it from there. Okay, today we learned about the different types of questions. So if you have any question, any query, you can ask me later on. I give you some times for your question session. So I given homework or home task for you. Observe the stem carefully and answer the following questions. Element and atomic number: A, sodium, and B, chlorine. Define nucleus, explain the uses of isotopes, analyze the way of electron distribution by considering stem elements. And last one is properties of elements correlate with electron distribution, evaluate with stem elements. Okay, boys, thank you for your participation. I hope all of you are well, and I want to say you that you must wash your hands regularly. You maintain social distance and avoid touching your nose, eyes, mouth by your hands, and make conscious your family members about COVID-19, and make your lesson properly and make the best use of your time. Thank you very much.